Welcome to this episode of Been There, Done That. My name is Patricia Baronowski-Schneider, CEO of Pristine Advisors, investor relations, public relations, and media relations and marketing firm with over 3 decades of experience working in a wide variety of niches across the globe. Today we're going to talk about what makes a great logo. Well, making something from scratch is hard, I can assure you. Colors actually have hidden meanings. Did you know that? Now, what's the recommended frequency of changing your logo? Well, these are some questions people have. So here are some tips to make a great logo that'll empower your brand. Now, thinking about a logo, I know it brings me back to when I first started Pristine Advisors and thinking about what I wanted my logo to do, who I wanted it to speak to. There was a lot of intent involved, right? And purpose. Yes, your logo, it should be intentional. You shouldn't just create some random thing. You don't want a picture of a paperclip or something on it, right? Yeah, it'd make no sense. Now, your logo has to be about your brand and your business, and it has to really represent you. So that's why it's super important to be intentional with what your logo is, because at the end of the day, that's what people will remember. Like they'll see your logo somewhere, like say, oh, Pristine Advisors, or that's Nike, or that's Apple. They're iconic and they represent that brand. So there are a lot of different types of logos out there. For instance, Apple, they just have a logo. Google just has the wording. Now, what other options are there? Well, there are 3 types of logos. You have letter marks, word marks, and brand marks. Now, what's the difference? Word marks are just words, like Google, right? The word itself is just a word, but it has a real meaning. Now, what you have is a logo itself. As a second option, you have letter mark. Now, let's focus on initials, okay? How many of the icons or logos on your phone are just initials? Of course, there's Facebook and Pinterest. So that's perfect, isn't it? And last but not least, I'll discuss the brand mark. Now, symbols or icons are just that. Is there anything else that's just iconic with just a symbol? Of course, there's Twitter and Instagram. Isn't that just a symbol? Their meaning, however, is much deeper. So say Instagram and Twitter logos aren't just birds or cameras. In each case, it's Instagram and Twitter. It's also possible to combine a logo type with a logo mark to create a combination mark. Text combined with images or icons enhance the branding messages and clarifies what the business is all about. So say, for example, Adidas, they have one logo and a name, and that's extremely common. It could be used interchangeably. When designing, what else should you take into account besides the color? Well, let's talk about the basics of framing. You shouldn't have your logo fill the entire box. You want a little bit of negative space, so it's not too overwhelming, and then think about the placement of your logo. Are you planning to have it in the center, or do you want it on the side with a little bit of negative space so that it looks a little nicer? Have you heard of the person who changed things up recently? Facebook. There was just a slight move over. They just made it a slight change to their brand, but it isn't very noticeable. Now, the next thing you should think about is, does your logo look good at different sizes? So it's extremely important to think about how your artwork will look maybe on a t-shirt or a hat, because what might look good blown up might not look as good as an app or an icon or a favicon or something like that. So if you had to choose the colors of your logo, what would you choose? Now, colors are very important, so make sure you choose them wisely. Now, what if I told you that colors actually have a hidden meaning? There's this idea that blue is supposed to be calming, right? Anger, passion, and love are symbolized by red. The colors orange represents energy, happiness, and vitality. The yellow represents happiness, hope, deception. Green, new beginnings, abundance, nature, etc. So get excited. You can get a better understanding of color theory just by Googling it. Search color theory and look up what each color means. If your brand represents one thing and you're using a different color, your audience will wonder, wait, what are they all about? I'll include a picture of this in the end for you here. There's a subconscious part of us that just instinctively knows, even though we may not realize it right away. And last but not least, I recommend that you choose fonts carefully when it comes to making your logo. So a candy store and an ice cream shop probably won't want to use a font that looks rigid and boring. They probably want something a little more creative, a little bold. Banks probably don't want to use Comic Sans because it doesn't really build trust and dependability. It's still crucial to choose the right font. With google.com/fonts, you can find a lot of options that might be right for your business. Just make sure it represents you. Now, having covered a ton of great tips on empowering your brand, how about I show you how it's done? I say you can design anything, so I'll explain to you how. For those of us who aren't graphic designers who haven't been doing this for a long time, you need something simple and easy, which is why I always recommend Canva. It's free for the most part, and I love free stuff. Canva allows you to create anything. and I'm not endorsing it, I just like it. You can create a design on Canva by clicking Create a Design button. The options are endless, but since you're making a logo, you'd click on Logo, of course. You'll be taken to step 1. You'll be taken to a new page with a blank canvas for your logo. And then on the left side, you'll find templates, which is very important because making something from scratch, that can be challenging. You won't believe how easy it is. Obviously, there are a lot of different templates to choose from, but if you're making a new one, you've got to search for topics. The same can be done for your business. Now just put in your industry, your vertical, or your niche, however you want to call it. All you have to do is click on one of those, and boom, there it is. Now, moreover, editing has never been easy. When you click on picture, you can drag it over, or if you don't like it, you can scratch it and select a different template, then scratch that. You can see all your options on the left. There's some pretty cool stock photos you can get. There's a lot of free content available. Since it's a freemium service, some of the premium content will require you to pay for it or subscribe. I mean, that's just how it works, right? But elements are what you're after. So say, for example, let's say you search for sneakers. You'll see what they have. You might be able to just upload some pictures of yourself wearing the sneakers. But if you search sneakers, then that's all you'll get. Dozens to choose from. It's kind of like scrolling through and seeing what you like. It's just the one that I recommend for most time users to get started. But Adobe Spark is an alternative. Again, I'm not working for them, I'm not endorsing them, I just like them. It's similar to Canva, and there are other free logo makers as well. I'm sure that many of you at home also have the question, how often do you need to change your logo? I'd say maybe never if you enjoy a logo and it fits your company, but maybe it's time to modernize and get a fresh look, like maybe a new coat of paint on the house. Perhaps rebranding is in order. I mean, I definitely created my own logo. It was quite fun. Would that be fun if you didn't really want to do that? I mean, that's okay. Those of us who are not visually creative prefer to hire a pro to make it look amazing. All sorts of people can design a logo for you, from freelancers to agencies or design firms, but you should always look at the portfolio of anyone in the creative field before hiring them. There's really a style to every designer, or every agency as I call it. They use different logos because ultimately this is your brand, your vision, and you want your logo to represent that and elevate it. Their style may not be what you're looking for. So let me know what you think after watching this video and learning about these tips to make a great logo that empowers your brand. If you have a favorite tip, leave a comment below or send us a link for the logo. Spread the love by liking and sharing this video. So until next time, keep watching this channel and ring the bell to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Until next time. As the title of my post says, been there, done that. I can assure you that in my 35 years of working in the industry, I've done it all, and I've learned from many mistakes. I've learned so much, and I can help you do what works best to get your story in front of the audience that matters most to you. Contact me to learn more about my story. You can find out more about me on my website at www.pristineadvisors.com, and that's EDVISERS.com. You can also contact me by email at pbaronowski@pristineadvisors.com. You can reach me by telephone at 631-756-2486. Until next time.